Good evening, guys. It's time to take a trip back to the past. We're going back to 1980 tonight, guys. Back when ninjas ruled the world, or at least martial arts cinema. A time where we didn't care if these swords were traditional or not. We loved them because our favorite movie stars used them, and they looked really cool. As I'm looking at this piece, I can just close my eyes and imagine that I'm a ninja in feudal Japan, outside an enemy castle, just strapped to my back, preparing on how I'm going to infiltrate. Of course, this is all movies, video games. I am not at all suggesting this sword is anything other than a movie replica or a video game replica. But as you'll see, this isn't a toy. This is a real sword. Okay? This is the Hanwei Kouga Ninja-To, and is one of the most rare swords that you can find as far as production pieces. This sword has eluded me for over a year now, and I just not picked it up. It became available again just a few days ago on KOA, and also a few people on eBay had them for ridiculous prices, over $500. I paid, about $350 for it. It was worth it. Last year I was able to pick up one of my Grail swords, kind of. If you've ever seen Revenge of the Ninja, if you haven't, shame on you. Because go watch it. It's awesome. But I picked up a T10 model on eBay. I wasn't happy with the saya on the one from eBay. The saya was just overdone. It was really thick. It had a hidden dagger in the bottom, but that's no excuse. Make the saya fit the sword, okay? And just a lot of issues with that sword. This one's perfect. It all began back in 1980 something, when I first saw Revenge of the Ninja. And I apologize if this video goes too long, but this is one of the most important pieces in my collection, and I'm going to talk about it. If you don't like it, click that little X on the top, and you'll be wished away. Alright. So, back in the mid-1980s, a lot of other films were out. Schwarzenegger, Steven Seagal, Van Damme. My hero was Sho Kosugi. And he still is. He's still one of the most important actors and martial artists that, I've ever had the pleasure of watching or knowing. We're actually friends on Facebook. Anywho. And it became my obsession to find, the Hollywood Ninja-To, as it's now referred to. The straight blade, which is non-traditional, the big square tsuba, and of course the long, regular-sized ska. In the films, he always had a little, point at the end. It was full to where it would match the shape of this. This is more of an impact weapon, which I like. But I never could find one. All the ones I found were cheap stainless steel that didn't have the dimensions I liked. The tsuba was never what I wanted. Just pieces of junk. It wasn't until I became much older, I started learning more about swords, that I realized that they just don't exist. But people, hush Dora, people on eBay, other forgers, they started making what they call the Sho Kosugi replica, which is what I got. As I said, I wasn't happy with it. So I went through sword after sword that just kind of maybe resembled his sword. None of them were up to my satisfaction. The one I have on my dresser is like an exact duplicate down to the fittings. But once I got it, it was yeah, I love it, but there's a few things that I'm not happy with, mainly the saya. And it looked plain once I got it. Compared to the one in the movie, it's the exact replica. But I wanted something more. I was made aware of these last year about the same exact time when I got my Viper. I had originally ordered this, I believe it was Swords of the East, and waited a week, nothing happened. So I contacted them. What's up? Oh, we're out of stock. And I'm like, well, you said they were in stock on your website, so either give me a refund or send me my sword. They're like, well, we can send you a refund or blah blah blah. We can send you another sword. So I was like, fine, fuck it, send me the Viper. And that's how I ended up with my Viper. I didn't buy it on Sword and Armory or anywhere else. I bought it on that garbage website. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the sword review. I've already mentioned it's not traditional, but I don't care. The blade is 1566 steel. It is very good steel. Several people have listed this as 5160 or 1090, 1095. But I know for a fact it's 1566. Know how I know that? It's listed as such on the Hanwei Kouga website. Booyah. The blade is differentially hardened using a clay method. I don't know how, because the blade's straight. And I always thought that using that kind of technique made the blade curve. Maybe they got some kind of special refining process now. I don't know. I do know the hamon is real. With the usual, they say it's frosted, but I'm looking at the steel. It doesn't look like it's frosted. It looks like it's just a real hamon. Iron fittings all around. Tsuba, Kashira, Manukis, the Fuchi's all iron. Iron fittings on the side. The sai is one of the most impressive things about this piece. And it's probably the most impressive sai I've ever seen, even against my Mass L6 katana. Iron fittings on the, I can't remember what this is called. Overlook me. One of the things I love about this piece is it has the kanji that's similar to the kanji for Heaven, which is my favorite, a sign of my favorite Street Fighter character, Akuma. Notice the kanji on his bead? Looks pretty similar, don't it? Moving along. Iron fittings all the way down. Nice impact weapon. This is, what is it? I can't remember what it's called. Black bead, something other. Anyway, it's very well done. It's also very slim. And I keep going back to the other sword. The other sword, the sai, just seemed like it was overbuilt for the sword and made it really awkward and gawky when you carry it or want to display it. This one doesn't have that problem. The blade's perfectly straight. The Tsuba has kanji cutouts all along it, making it look very, very unique. The brass fittings on the saya and also on the ska, which is in a battle wrap fashion, by the way. I didn't mention this. The Samigawa is blackened, and it looks like they lacquered it as they blackened it because it has a shine to it. See how it shines? This is cotton. It feels really good, so I'm not going to lacquer this. It already feels comfortable enough, and I'm happy with this. So I'm done. The sword, of course, has been sharpened by me, taped off, ground down, just a little bit. It came actually paper swipe. I mean, not paper swiping, but paper shaving sharp. It would not shave. A few passes on 120, strop the hell out of it. It's shaving like nobody's business. Good to go on the sharpening. The sai, like I said, has all iron fittings. The Sageo is done very nicely. It's also, it feels to be like a synthetic silk. It's held in place rather than a, what is it called? Shitadami. I'm probably saying that wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's secured by these iron hooks. And they got some scratches and scuffing that's done on purpose so it looks like it's antiqued. Like you would see this on some Master Ninja Warrior back in the day. It looks like some cotton, some kind of wax or something from the shipping. I'm going to untie this a little bit and wrap it a little bit tighter so it's not so dangly. Or it may not. I like it. Just a fantastic piece, guys. Out of all of my Hanweis, this is my favorite. I sold my Shinto. The Raptor sits on the dresser. I'm keeping it for sentimental reasons. I'm not a fan of the Raptor series. I mean, I like it. Just, to me, there are better swords out there for the money. But as far as Ninja-Tos, this is the perfect Ninja-To. It really is. For function, for just collection, for just, I'm trying to get it in the light. Look at that hamon. Look at that beautiful flowing hamon. Oop, kill my lamp. Cut it in half, Seth. I know that's what Ken's probably saying. Nah, no bevel, just where I taped it off. I don't see a point in doing a sharpening test. You guys know it's crazy sharp. I really don't want to turn around and face the camera. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed this trip down memory lane. And when you're looking at a piece like this, just remember, when you were a kid in the 1980s, early 90s or whatever, and you're going in the video store and you're seeing all these like really, really memorable ninja films like Revenge of the Ninja and Enter the Ninja and Pray for Death. Even the modern ones, Ninja Assassin, the video games like Tenchu that just, to me, are just, some of the greatest games ever made. Hold on, let me get one in my hand so I can. This game got me back into the ninja stuff when I was about 19 years old, and ever since then it's been my shit. Sho Kosugi did the motion capture for the character in this game. His son did the motion capture for the enemy in the game, one of the main enemies, Onikage. And I guarantee you, if you were ever a fan, put aside the whole sword snob shit. Put aside historical data, historical fact. We know we're all grown. This is a Hollywood piece. But I'm telling you, this sword will cut the shit out of you. Don't think this is a toy. It will kill you. But anyway, put that aside. And just imagine yourself in your pajamas or your sweatpants, whatever the hell you were wearing while you were in your ninja phase when you were a kid. And you're sitting there and your jaw is dropping at Sho Kosugi, like flipping over cars and all that kind of shit. And then you go into the games like this. When you pick this up, you forget about all the historical bullshit, and you realize how much fun it is and how much we enjoyed these types of swords when we were kids and young adults growing up, before we were hit with the hard fact that these weren't actually real. It's kind of like when you find out Santa's a joke or not real. Sorry, Ken, if you didn't already know, Santa's not real. My bad. But it's kind of the same thing, and you pick this up and you hold it and you look at it and you close your eyes and you flash back to all those memorable moments when you were growing up, and you think about yourself in those situations, where you're taking on the bad guy in the ninja game or the ninja movie. And that's why I bought it. I didn't get it because it's going to cut better, because it's traditional, because it's going to be worth a lot of money one day, which I'm sure it will be. It's a Hanwei. It's hard to find. I bought it because of my childhood and because of what these films and these games meant to me. Watching Revenge of the Ninja is one of the few good memories I had with my father. He's still alive. We just don't get along. But that's one film me and him both agreed on. It kicked ass. Ninjas kicked ass back then. Ninjas kick ass now. And ninjas will always kick ass. You guys have a great night. Peace and say my name. I hope you've enjoyed this review of the Hanwei Kouga Ninja-To. I give it 11 out of 10 stars. You guys have a great one. We'll see you.